How you all doing? Today's question is this: why does evil exist? Take a crack at one of the answers. So, imagine this. You go into the vet with your dog. You need to take your dog for a vaccine. As you're walking in, your dog is scared of the vet. Your dog doesn't like going to the vet. So what do? Do you sit down and explain it to your dog? Do you say, hey, listen, wait a second, dog, I know you're scared, but let me tell you this. So there's this modern miracle, we call it medicine. It's a product of science. It's amazing. What we've done is we've actually taken diseases and we've stripped them of their active components, and we're going to inject an inert form into your body. It's going to go in through a syringe. It's going to be a bit painful, but it won't be too bad. And your immune system is going to recognize this disease and begin treating it so that in the future, when you encounter the active form of this disease, you'll already have the antibodies present to fight it. Yeah, let's go. And your puppy just looks up at you and says, yeah, for sure. That makes perfect sense to a dog. I mean, it doesn't. See, we call them epistemological limits. There are limits to the ways in which a brain works for a dog. I mean, dogs are smart. You can communicate with them. They love you. They trust you. They're brilliant animals, but there's limits to what they can think and know. And you can't just explain it to your dog and just be like, hey, this is what's going to happen, because you'll just confuse the dog. You can't actually make it reasonable to the dog. The best thing you can do is say to your puppy, listen, I love you. Please trust me. I'll be with you. And in the end, it'll be okay. Book of Job, one of the earliest books in the Bible written. Job living his life. Life is going well. And then like 2020, after 2019, his life just got cancelled. It got messed up. Finds himself in a situation, he's lost his kids, he's lost his house, he's lost his animals. All of his friends hate him. And so he says to God, listen, God, I need to know what's going on. God, answer me. I am suffering. There is evil about me. I'm in pain. What has happened? God rocks up to Job, and God says, listen, Job, I love you. Please trust me. It's going to be okay in the end, but there's also things that I can't explain to you fully in a way that you can comprehend right now. And God says to Job, listen, Job, were you there when I created the earth? He essentially says to Job, listen, do you know how this creation works? And it's a good question. Job, do you know how I created three-dimensional time and space? Do you know how I created the universe? What's the universe in? Do you know how I created that? Do you know how I created numbers? You know, numbers didn't exist until I created them. I made time. Job, I created the conscious experience that you live in. I am beyond consciousness. I created consciousness for you. Job, do you know how to create consciousness? God says to Job, he says, listen, Job, it's hard to explain to you because you are my creation and there are limits to the ways in which your brain works. But what I can tell you in this situation is this. Job, I love you. I care for you. I will be with you. And here's the thing. I promise you that in the end, the things will be okay. And if things aren't okay right now, it just means it's not the end. I hope that helps you in this situation. I know there's a lot to that. Problem of evil, it's a big question, but that's one way to look at it. See you later.